Now we all know Aaron Rodgers is a spotlight guy. His play brought that, but that hasn't been the case recently. So Aaron Rodgers is doing things, in my opinion, to keep the light on. Which brings us to today, the latest involving Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers was asked would he play for the Chicago Bears, and he said, there's a team that's going to be playing in Chicago this year, which points to the Steelers. The Steelers have the Chicago Bears in Chicago this year. And he was asked would he play for the Saints, and he shot that down quick. It's a simple no. The Saints have a quarterback situation themselves, with Derek Carr retiring and things. So he shot down the Saints and things. So this Aaron Rodgers thing just been dragging out. It's been drug out for a long time. You have the situation started out, with Aaron Rodgers coming to the facility, going to Pittsburgh, 6 hour. They said it was a long, nice meeting and things like that. So people were saying, hey, well, how nice was the meeting if you didn't sign after 6 hours? But then there was the DK Metcalf, thing. He was working out with DK Metcalf and things. So they said, hey, man, it's ramping back up. Maybe the things he had to go handle some business and things like that. He just wanted to earn some things out with the meeting, seeing how the offense is going to go, his input and things like that, So, and then you turn around and do workouts with DK Metcalf, and then people started trying to put pieces together and things like that. But nothing ever happened, and then it come out, that he says he may not, he don't know what he want to do, and then you have the retirement angle to it. So now it's more light on it. Now this thing is like, oh, well, if he retires, then what's the Steelers going to do? And then now there's other, options coming out. Well, maybe they'll try to get Kirk Cousins and things like that. There's other angles to it, but that puts the light, that just shines the light brighter on Aaron Rodgers and his situation. So, and we all know, man, Aaron Rodgers, when he was on, he was on. MVP. He makes those throws on a run that guys have a hard time making routinely, So, and now that's just not the case, but he's used to that spotlight, and it's hard to go from from having a light, from being a guy that everybody's talking about, they say the best thrower of the football and all that good stuff, they're saying that to nothing. It could be a hard pill to swallow. So in Aaron Rodgers' case, man, he's doing what he can. Even with the Jets situation, the darkness retreat and all that good stuff, man. Did he come out the tunnel yet, or wherever he went, and things? So it's that's just what he's about, the spotlight, and this is what it is. And if it, in my opinion, if you're the Steelers, this is it's a situation, whether you have Rodgers or not, you're not a Rodgers away from a Super Bowl. So if I'm the Steelers, I'll just say, hey, you go ahead with Mason Rudolph or whoever else you may want to acquire for this year, and put your team together and move forward, because the clock is ticking, and the season is ramping up. It's meetings and OTAs, all things is about to get going on. So and if guys want to be invested, they want to be involved, they'll be in the building, and that's just how it go. No matter the age, people say, hey, he's a veteran, he been there, done that, and all that good stuff. That's good, but he hasn't been there and done that with the Steelers. It's a different thing. You have to come in and you have to learn the playbook. You have to be invested, with the new ball club, and show them, they leave no doubt that you're giving it your all, and that starts from day one. So when it's time to come to work, it's time to come to work. We understand you have some personal issues and things like that, but you haven't even made the commitment to the team. That's where it starts, and I think that's a sign right there. Maybe there was a little secret under the rug, behind the doors, behind the scenes deal that Rodgers and the Steelers made, and that's why the Steelers are so comfortable and just so laid back about the situation. We don't know. We'll see, because you're going to have to make a decision sooner, right? Because the season is going to start at some point in time. So, You know, we're just going to have to see how it goes, with Rodgers and the Steelers. But this is just the latest, the latest news, the latest scoop on the Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers situation. So we're just going to have to see, what Aaron Rodgers come up with, and if the Steelers, where they come to a breaking point and say, hey, this season is we're dug in, and we're just going to roll with the guys who are putting the commitment and the time in, and are here and are invested in the team, and then that's just what it is. Or will Aaron Rodgers suit up and be a Steeler? Only time will tell, when we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Let me know what you think in the comments about the Aaron Rodgers situation. You think the Steelers should just wait on Aaron Rodgers, and do it? Will Aaron Rodgers make the Steelers that much better? That's the thing. Is he that much better than Mason Rudolph? That's the question. How many more wins will you get with Aaron Rodgers versus with Mason is what you want to put together, and let me know in the comments what you think about that, and then we'll just have to see the decision Aaron Rodgers make. Retirement, Steelers, or whatever. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get all the new videos.